We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome, as we come to you from Commanders Field here in Landover, Maryland.
First 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Godwin, the motion man. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. You talk about this Washington defense.
They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it?
Throwing Nix. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
Henry again on second down.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
To throw is Nix. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
They'll start out here with the option left. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Second and 6.
Throwing now is Daniels. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Zach Ertz, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Commanders use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
The point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they are over 500 for the season, 4-3. They got back above 500 with a victory last week. And, Charles, you think this is a very important week for them, do you not?
I certainly do, because when you start to do the math, and yes, I'm using my fingers to count. If you're 4-4 at the midway point, let's say you're saying 10 wins is your cutoff line for a playoff berth. It's usually right around that number. A loss here, all of a sudden you've got to go 6-2 down the stretch just to reach 10 wins. That means this game is vital.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Off the play fake, Nix steps away to his left. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Third and long. Here's Nix. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll run. It's Henry. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball is moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the 1st down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
On 1st and 10, here's Nix.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Dorrance Armstrong. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked.
Working out of the gun is Nix. He's going to look downfield for Henry. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
When you look at this Bronco defense,
they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
Give them 3 yards there on the first down pickup. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. Play action. Now it's Daniels.
Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down.
4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10.
They'll go play action with Nix.
Being chased out left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now it's Nix. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Keon Crossan. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's 2nd down. Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for them. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar.
You circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
To the air goes Daniels.
He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
It's a 47-yard field goal try from here, but instead they're going to opt to go for it on 4th down. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
So after the 4th down conversion, now 1st and 10 inside the 25. To throw is Daniels.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
They go play action. Daniels
escaping the pressure right.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Mecole Hardman
from 8 yards out.
And the Commanders go up by 2 touchdowns.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
2nd and 10. To throw, here's Nix.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
Here's Nix. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
Looking for Godwin again, and he's got him once more.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Now 2nd and 9.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts,
as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Looking to throw. Nix. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit, because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th.
They'll go for it. Here's Nix.
He throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th.
And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs.
Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you point out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation. Do a little adjusting at the half and come out ready to go. But sometimes those coaches can just sense their team. Maybe they're a little flat or they need a little extra inspiration.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. But Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Throwing on 1st and 10 is Nix. Across the formation, he finds Godwin.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. A 2-touchdown game. 14-0 the score as we get rolling again here in this second half.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Broncos will take over possession here up at the 44.
Well, pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
Nix to throw on first down.
Dancing to his left. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right.
Nix on first down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Things just kind of continuing to unravel for him here in this second half. They take the shot downfield, but this defense, once again, up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures, because they've got nothing on the scoreboard, and they're just trying to get something, anything to go their way. But in this case, they turned the ball over. Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now it's 3rd and 4.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Riley Moss.
And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides.
19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. Cut 19, cut 19.
Here's Daniels. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Washington. Mecole Hardman with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Knicks now on 1st and 10.
Buying time to his left. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 8 more yards this time, coming off back-to-back first down pickups.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 2.
Running left, it's Henry. And he's got some space here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
45 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this up.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
Dorrance Armstrong getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Commanders force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter.
It's getting kind of dangerous. Feels like it's a load. My mind stunning like a cloud of dust. My heart always wants to run. Oh, if you want to cowboy on a white horse, riding out into the sunset, if that's the kind of love you want to wait for. Hold on tight, girl, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. White horse. Someday, maybe you could have your way. Right now, just not the time. Some things a man just got to do. I wish you could change my mind. Whoa, if you want a cowboy on a white horse, riding out into the sunset, if that's the kind of love you want to wait for. Hold on tight, girl, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. White If you want a cowboy on a white horse, riding out into the sunset, if that's the kind of love you want to wait for. Hold on tight, girl, I ain't there. If you want a cowboy on a white horse, riding out into the sunset, if that's the kind of love you want to wait for. Hold on tight, girl, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. White
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I steam, broski, yummy. I just touched down in LA, the Spanish, my favorite. This that G, I keep it playing, so I put it on. She be in me, she just made a beat. I got rolling over. Speeding to the money like I'm running from the feds. Posted with my this say yeah.
I'm like, whoa, see residuals, watch the money grow. I'm in flow, greatest story told, watch it all unfold. I'm like, whoa, reaping what I sow. Harvest getting bigger, they all froze. I released my soul, now they taking pictures of it.
Eyes on the prize, it's my last order. 5:45, had the lights on us. Fries for the side of an ice cola. You know that ride till the tires fall off. She know I'm a D, I got a date with destiny. She coming to me, cause I got the flavors and recipe. She racing to me like an athlete. She two with the G's, cause she know it. Yeah. It's eyes on the prize, I can't live life in disguise. Cause bro recognize I ain't gotta compromise. sides, the gang tied up. Ties on the industry advice. I'm outside with some good fellas and some nice guys trying to live life in the sky. We lit in real life, we don't pay to be verified. We just manifest, lay and grind on the rise. We defy the odds like it's nothing, time after time. God bless this eternal shine, yeah. Eyes on the prize, it's my life sold up. 5:45, had the lights on us. Fries for the side of an ice cola. You know that ride till the tires fall off. She know I'm a D, I got a date with destiny. She coming to me, cause I got the flavors and recipe. She pressing to me like an athlete. She two with the G's, cause she know it. Eyes on the prize just to see how far I go, yeah. Shooting star, yeah, all over the globe. Hard work, all I ever know. So nobody could tell me I'm not wet my way and go, yeah. I'm in my zone, yeah, through this microphone. The way they looking at me like they seen a UFO,
I can show you that underground music, riding in the good, not used. Tighten up, you a lose. I approve. I bet I stamped and approve. Straight underground, make all you haters get down. You understand what I'm saying?
I can show you lame, how to do this. Stack your money up, be about your